right, and we're back. It's New Mutator here, joined once again by Giant Killer General, Osmodian, and Myrk from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who are the 2013 Myth World Cup champions. And they're going to be playing Game 7 here against the Agents. And what's the name of this? Keep Across the River. It's Last Man on the Hill. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, you guys have already sewn up the match, right? You took 4 out of 7 games. What's on your minds coming into this game here?
Well, it's just for fun at this point. It's just bragging rights, and yeah, so we've already sewn up the win. So,
well, yeah, you do kind of want to still win this game because if you make it a 4-3 score, that's a lot different than a 5-2, and then it adds controversy like, oh, well, we could have beat you if we got the South Start on Canyon or whatever, shit like that. So
I wonder how it would have went down if this had ended up being a tie series, and we would have the controversy of the fact that Limp was the backseat captain in Game 1. That would have been entertaining.
That would have been pretty great.
So, I mean, Last Man on the Hill, I think this is the first time we're seeing it in the finals here.
Yeah, I think so.
And, what can you tell us about kind of your approach to Last Man on the Hill for this map?
It's just pretty much regular-ass, normal desert trade. Everybody's done it for the past 15 years. It's just its own key. But we've got our big old Thrall strategy because GKG is just in love with Thrall.
I love Thrall.
And they've got, of course, their archers because they like their archers. And that's all there is to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, archers are pretty standard for light maps.
I can't believe they got archers on this.
The thing is, this is Last Man in the Hill, and Thrall are just so much better on Last Man in the Hill than on most anything, just because they have like the ultimate pushing power, right? Just a big army of Thrall, and archers, there's a window of time where archers are just useless.
And not only that, there's more sunk water on this than even Desert has, so it's even more prone for Thrall. Really, this whole match, I was very surprised. I actually, going into this, I told my guys that there would be a good chance that WWO was going to captain because he commented to me after their last loss to us that he was hoping to captain or whatever. And I told him, I even told him right when he told me that, I was like, I don't think you're gonna do any better, man. You guys really should just let Limp captain. Now, that's just from a strategy perspective. Like, they should have kept doing the same strats that they were doing to us in the last match that we had against them. We won 4-1, but it was a much closer match still than this. One of those games they should have won. So it was really kind of a 3-2 match. Their strategies were kind of mirroring what I would do in a lot of cases, and it was proving very difficult, and they kind of strayed away from that and then let WWO captain. Now, WWO says that he was not responsible for the strategies, so I don't know who was, but they were terrible, and that's all I can say. They really should have just kept doing what they were doing before.
So just on strats alone, like how would you predict this to play out?
They only have
this
about
game?
3 dwarves, so if they lose those 3 dwarves, they just pretty much lose the game.
I would have predicted, just going off of what we can see right now, I would have predicted that we end up camping it out to the end and do a massive Thrall rush at the end. But as you'll see shortly, they actually try and push our middle pretty aggressively, and we end up executing our Thrall rush ahead of schedule. So
we're doing a little bit of a bottle plus up here. I'm getting my dwarf up there to feed Dax and bottles.
Flag.
Yeah, so I got 3 warrior squads with a dwarf
captured
or J-man each, and then 3 Thrall squads with pus, so they can focus on the pus micro. And
I was just fucking begging for a war pack. Like, one time this match, I was like, fuck doing Thrall every game.
Wait, say that again?
Doesn't like
I was
Thrall.
just begging to get a war pack and a light map for a change since we're so Thrall heavy. than
Well,
Mr. Thrall.
say what you will about Thrall. I mean, they can be used pretty effectively, especially like
take it
GKG
with
was
you.
saying. Something happened here. Oh, somebody lost the goal. I think maybe a scouting goal.
Yeah, I just made Paris, I think it was. He pussed my scout goal that didn't have any pus. He thought it had pus, I guess, and then he dwarfed his own goal for some reason. So yeah, he just wasted a pus and a goal.
Here we have kind of a funny situation up north. My warriors went middle, and I kind of forgot about my dwarf up there, and he's kind of like stuck in his own. He's not really, because there's Thrall near him. I think it's Asmodians that can save him if need be. So I don't know. I don't know if it's really such a bad thing in this situation to lose it to like 3 warriors. Or I mean, take out 3 warriors just because of how many archers they have.
And see, they're pushing middle.
Whoa.
They already crossed middle with all like a bunch of archers, which I did not expect. So their archers are getting some good hits off, especially on our Rat's Thrall there, which are not sunk yet.
Dak's using his bottle pus on that warrior. Like, I was surprised he almost pussed himself, but it dudded.
Brutus and Paris are off
I didn't see that.
in the east pretty well doing dick all, like they're just trapping Thrall in the water, basically.
Yep. Paris is throwing a bunch of bottles in the water.
Yeah, he's trying to bottle up the water, which we figured they would try to do.
I think they have a white. I saw a white get sunk
Yeah, they
somewhere.
do.
In the north, I think.
Because with this map, like you can guarantee get a white in on the North River, regardless of your start location.
Yeah, yeah. So right now, you know, their archer squads are getting a bunch of nice hits on our warriors, and they're having to fall back. So right now we have to do a rush, a surround rush on their middle force that's on our backfield right now.
Yeah, Arsenic is getting pushed pretty hard. He got his dwarf plus 2.
Yeah, he's doing a good job though of kind of staying alive and keeping it going.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's
Personally,
a lot of...
like I think in a situation like this, I'd like to use dwarves as pus bait pretty much, just because of how many archers they have and the fact that they don't really have Mitch Thrall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not
Maybe it's
bad
just
trade
my
at this
personal
point.
bias against dwarves. I like more of the biggest dwarf haters on this game, probably.
Who's biased against dwarves?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Why? What's wrong with dwarves?
Like anytime I'm engaging a melee and I really need that dwarf shot to get off, it's a dud or some shit. Back to the game.
It looks like Limp just bombed his own melee a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, not too much.
Yeah.
Just looking at
Okay,
the
watch
map right
Dax.
now.
Watch Dax full pack coming up.
That was a pretty huge shot.
Oh man.
Ooh, yes, Dak. That was probably Dak's best moment of this tournament.
Don't say that, he's pissing up at me off already.
It was a pretty sexy bottle toss.
Oh, there goes your dwarf, Myrk.
Yeah. How did I lose it again?
Plus by Cryptos, it looks like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you got
surround rush.
You got one of your own.
Now
so
we've
we're
got
good.
this huge ass clump of stuff chasing Browning here. Well, this is like my big regret of the game is that I don't spread them out sooner, because look at that.
Eastman
like,
had a huge puss.
He got a really nice pass, but now I'm going to get raped by Cryptos here. There we go. That was kind of sad.
Yeah, it's easy to get like caught up in the melee moments, about to like rape some melee and then get fucking punched like that.
Then you got the tunnel vision going on.
The Thrall are just closing the door on the middle.
Flag captured.
Yeah,
Paris looks like he still has his work, but he's kind of stuck in water right now.
Oh, never mind. I don't know if you saw that, but his
And he
dwarf...
just killed himself.
Yeah, that was funny.
And that's probably GG, because I think that was the last dwarf for them on this map.
Yeah, definitely.
That dwarf was gonna die soon anyway, but yeah.
Flag contested.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenic still had warriors.
Yeah, Arsenic was all over it with like 7 warriors, so.
There's some weird noise in the back.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's got to be Asmo, right?
Yeah, that's probably
that's
not.
true.
Screwing things up, man.
Now Cryptos looks like he's going to fight all this Thrall, which I don't know if it really matters at this point, but that'd be really bad if it did.
I just saw a white go off, but it doesn't seem like it did a whole lot.
Yeah, that white came in really late.
Yeah. I picked it off.
And at this point, there's just too much Thrall, right? Like, there's no way that, even with all these archers, that agents can even do anything against that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, in the MWC11 finals was another map with similar units as this, and also Last Man on the Hill, and lots of water and sunk areas right around the flag, and it played out. That one actually lasted till the end before we did the rush, but very, very similar. It's kind of karma, I think, or just history repeating itself, I guess.
Thrall are good in the Last Man on the Hill. One of those little tips that everyone should know.
That's definitely the power of the Thrall wall, right? Preventing the other team from even getting close to the flag.
One thing I can say about this tournament as a whole, I definitely bought into the Thrall. I don't like Warriors anymore for the most part. Thrall are effective.
No. Well, two Thrall beat a Warrior, right? But the thing is, you know, it's...
Hey, wait, not if you're Dak.
That's right, he did.
Flag
you did see that in game 2.
Not if the Thrall are in G and never get off G.
Yeah, it looks like these Limp's about to get cleaned up here.
Yeah, he can't really do shit. He might have actually had some sort of a chance if he still had a Dwarf, just because there's no more pus goals in the map, but that's very unlikely.
Yeah, I don't know about that, because you can pick up small pus, right? There's still goals, and they can pick the, you know, they can still freeze it.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to do with small pus, though.
Well, all you have to do is surround it. And
Sexy micro, man. That's all you need.
Yep. So just delaying the inevitable, it seems. Crypto's running around just throwing stuff. Limp running for his life.
And Dak is trying to get off a cleaver kill on the last goal, who has like a sliver of health left.
There's two goals for... Looks like it could be a goal battle with...
You can still win, guys. Don't give up.
There goes
Dak
Limp.
just threw a cleaver trying to finish the goal kill.
Actually, that goal has 4...
Team eliminated.
4, now 5 kills.
That was a nice final pass.
Yeah, just a final something, right?
Final passing of the Thrall.
And there you have it. I mean, you know, you can't get much more definitive than that with that extra win under your belts.
Right.
And surprisingly, Crypto's had a lot of damage. Looking at the numbers here.
Yeah, he was the last Warrior pack.
Right. Yeah, he was the last
there you
one,
go.
and he got that nice puss off, and a lot of damage there. So.
True.
But yeah, this game was just like the epitome of kind of their trades for the majority of the games all the match. Just why so many damn archers and so many ranged units and artillery units, and just I don't know,
What do you think they were thinking?
I was expecting a lot better out of them, to be honest.
What do you think they were thinking that they were going to do? Do you think they actually put in a lot of time, like determining a good strategy, or?
Oh, they absolutely did. They were online. They were online strategizing quite a bit.
Yeah, I think they strategized much more than us, to be honest, or at least online in games together.
But make no mistake. Had we lost this match, we would still be hearing all about it all over the forums, I'm sure.
So yeah, I do remember seeing them, you know, strategizing on Gate of Storms. But do you think that they just misjudged what they thought you were gonna get?
Well, yeah, people always mindfuck themselves when playing against my strategies. I think what they did was they mindfucked themselves because they lost the last match 4-1. They're like, oh well, we need to change things up. When they shouldn't have done that. They should have actually kept doing what they were doing, but just try and do it a little bit better. And yeah, because
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know.
more of like an execution for a problem for them last time rather than strategy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Their strats last match were much better, and they did do this one strategy on this one map. I can't remember the name of it, where they did all melee, no archers, and we actually got some archers, but no. It was one of those maps where you don't want to get warriors on, which again we saw at least 2 of those maps in this match again, and they ended up getting warriors. And I don't know if
The
that
midst
kind of
of
mind
Paris.
fucked them, because like that was like one of those maps where they actually shouldn't have done the all melee rush. Although it's not horrible, they could have done it had they executed it a little bit better. But they just need to keep doing that kind of the heavier melee stuff. This is why I've written so many damn articles about exactly what I'm going to do. You'd think everybody should know by now what the fuck I'm gonna do, and they should just do that. But here you got a last man on the hill game where you clearly should have went max thrall, and they go a bunch of archers instead. I just don't get it.
So were you surprised when you saw them with that many archers?
Fuck yeah! I can't believe it. To me, it was very typical WWO strategy. I mean, I love WWO, but man, you still got that kind of old mentality from the
It's
early
pretty
eras of
pretty
myth.
old school.
Yeah, exactly. Old school is the word. Yeah, and he won't change his mind. He's kind of like a lesser version of Ducky, I would say, in that he likes to do the funky
No, it's
strategies.
not as bad as Ducky. At
Not
least
as
he got
bad.
pustules.
Not as bad as Ducky. Yes, that's. I want to emphasize a lesser version of Ducky, but kind of in that same camp of school of thought, and he's trying to do the weird strategies and trying to make them work, and that's all fine and good, but they don't fucking work. So I don't know. This is just a repeat of the same damn MWC win I've had the third one now, in a row. Why? I don't know why. I was expecting this one to be the toughest fight for me of the 3, and
Well, you had
I don't know if I can really say that.
You had a couple of ex teammates on the other team, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you
Paris. Well, I've teamed up with a lot of different people. So, but yeah, Paris, Limp, and Browning, and PK as well before he left. But and not to take anything away from my whole team, we were kind of had a little shaky execution on certain things on almost every single match leading up to this match. But man, everybody on my team just like fucking nailed it on this match. This was by far our best match the whole tournament, and I think the biggest fuck up was me in game 1, where I pretty much single-handedly cost us the fucking game. But yeah, everybody else is just rock solid, and part of that is having good strategies. So part of agents not doing well is just their players not being set up for success either. So
I just think it's a little bit surprising too for me watching, because the agents had so many ex Southern Parkians, for instance, who played with
I don't
you
get it either,
and were pretty
familiar. They should know, right? Yeah, exactly. I don't get it either. Although Browning's a decent. I don't know. He's okay as a strategy captain. Paris is not good at all, by the way. But and Limp is okay. Limp is okay though.
Browning didn't even show up until the end for them.
Somebody's probably
going
to make a sound
really?
that and just play it on the
Yeah,
floor over and over.
He didn't show for any matches until like this one, I think.
Yeah, I told those agents guy. I told them after match, you guys should have kept Limp capping, and I even told WWO that as soon as he commented to me about him capping. I don't know who was responsible for the strategies again, but they seemed like WWO strategies to me. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, I think they would have known better if someone else was in charge of that shit. Because
so
I was
earlier in the match, you said that the first 2 games it's not that you expected to lose them, but you thought they were your weakest.
Right. Yeah, whenever you're planning a match, you kind of should plan like which games do you feel like are your highest risk games, so that as the match goes on, you don't lose your shit over kind of kind of manage how the score is going as the match goes on, and know where you need to gain some ground in the score and where you can kind of write off your losses a little bit. And you know, although we were down 0-2, I was not that concerned. My only concern was it was the third going into the third game, which was the only game with a massive start advantage. So I was a little concerned about us, you know, getting fucked on that start and then somehow being sloppy in one of the remaining 4 games. But I wasn't overly concerned, really, because I knew those first 2 games. I told my guys after those first 2 games were over, like, just forget about those games, because those were the 2 that we were going to lose. If we were going to lose any, it was going to be those 2.
And why would that be? Like, what was your reasoning for that?
Because we don't have a very strong strategy advantage, and kind of, yeah, mainly the strategy advantage. I mean, going into Barb Valley, we lost Barb Valley against, God, was it TMNS?
It was Agents also.
We had kind of a shitty strategy.
Was it not?
No, that was TMNS.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were kind of set up to get the flag disadvantage then, although I'd say I'd probably blame, like, you know, bad throwing or lag or something like that for that game. This match.
It was definitely bad throwing.
Yeah.
It's okay, you can say it. Yeah. I fuck up sometimes too. So yeah, I fucked the first game for sure, which, you know, whatever. Eastwind fucked it the last time we played that, and then I fucked it the next. The reason I switched us on our roles was because I was like, okay, maybe Eastwind will do better with my squad, which was just the 1 Tro and the Soulless pack, and I would do better with his. And I don't know, it just, again, the key thing, and this is such a mental game, and this is kind of a good example of it. With game 1, the key piece of information I needed to know was that they didn't get Soulless in their trade, and I didn't realize it, and that's kind of a brain fart, because I usually don't make mistakes like that. But maybe because I was busy throwing. Sometimes when you're captain and trying to do too much shit at once, you know, shit slips by. But if someone had told me that they didn't have Soulless, or if I had just realized it on my own, I would have known exactly what to do, and I just never knew. I never knew what was going on in that south part of the map, really, because I was so busy in the north. So anyway, like, going back to your original question, the Barb Valley, we've already lost it once before against TMNS. It's not, we can't really get a strong advantage out of that. Also, Agents is a stronger Tro team than Light team. So our advantage against them is going to be on light maps, typically, just generally speaking. I think you saw that, kind of the best example of that being in this game we just watched, and also the Assassin game with the locks. Game 2, the reason I say that was a risky one was because while we were doing a Thrall camp out, you know, go for flags at the end strategy, and while I still feel that's the best strategy, it's not kind of like an ass-kicking strategy, and it was just risky. Like, and I kind of expected them to do something similar. The fact they still got archers, I still feel like we should have won that, but yeah. But anyway, those 2 games were definitely our riskiest. The third one was a flip of the coin. Whoever can get the south start. Although I feel like if we had gotten the north start and they played the way they did in that game, I feel like we would have had a chance of winning, even with the north start, because it didn't seem like they knew how to play that map really at all. And then the fourth game was the most likely to tie. The last 3 games, I knew we had a strong strategy advantage, and if you look at the results, those were our strongest games. I mean, game 5 and 6, we stomped them. This last game, the percentages are a little closer, but I mean, they had no chance in hell of winning that.
Right. After a certain point, they didn't. You know, once Paris lost his dwarf, it was pretty much over. I don't think there was any way they could have, you know, went on to win.
In this last game? Oh, yeah. I mean, we ultimately, you know, we could have just just ran it out. I mean, they still couldn't deal with our thrall in the water. I mean, you have 45 thrall in the water next to the flag. You know, what are you going to do against it? There's there's nothing they can do. So
yeah, even if Paris had held on to that dwarf, he
One
would have
thing they
been
could have
overrun.
tried to do and maybe strategized about is like that guaranteed white you get, just like bottling the water on that side and then just playing to like just shut our thrall down on that side.
Right,
It would work better for them.
And that's something we thought about ahead of time, and ultimately our counter to that was if they bottle the shit out of the water, just run the timer out and we'll spend a plus or two to kind of detonate them and kind of clear most of the water out and just keep the thrall spread, and it should mitigate most of that threat. So, but
All right.
again, that's another thing to bring up is when you're planning for this shit, you should kind of like run through all the possible scenarios in your mind so that when you're in the middle of the game, you kind of already know what to do, and that prevents a lot of that hesitation because you've already thought of everything that the opponent could possibly do and know what you need to do to adjust to that. You know, in game one, I didn't think that they would go no souls, so it was out of my playbook. I had no idea what to do. Well, actually, I would have known what to do had I realized it, but I didn't, because I didn't expect it. I didn't look for it, and I didn't realize it. So, just another point to make.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for joining me for the grand finals cast here for MWC. And yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up if you don't mind.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to nerd talk myth strategy with everybody.
No, absolutely, man. It's a lot of fun, I think, to get different perspectives on that, especially when you can see them actually working, unfolding in real time, right? So I think that's a pretty good resource for people.
Trust me, the past couple of years, the only reason I keep playing this game is for the strategies. I don't get the kicks out of it from playing so much anymore.
Well, it is a pretty it's an older game, right? So there's newer games out there that look prettier and have like more like shiny stuff happening, and I'm sure there's different benefits to playing those as well, larger communities and whatnot. But there's like this a strategy component to Myth, which is very interesting to say the least, right? That kind of keeps you coming back and watching films and things like that. So it's always good to get different perspectives, like I said.
Oh yeah, trying to control a team of 7 people is always kind of a rough job. If you take another strategy game like say StarCraft, it's all 1v1s, right? So you just got like that element to your strategy, but you have to coordinate 7 people. And
yeah,
Just imagine if this game was like 16 versus 16 or something like that. I mean, it would just get crazy.
That'd be intense.
Yeah.
Exponentially more complex, so.
I don't know if there's any games that are like that. Like the only games I know of that are cooperative, that are popular for people to play are like MOBAs, right? Or I don't even know what they're called anymore, but that style tower, those style of games where it's like you have a bunch of heroes on the same team, right?
Yeah, even then I think it's just 5-on-5.
Yeah, there's nothing approaching 16 versus 16.
And then it's like people do the same. Like I watched the tournament finals of like some of the best like Dota 2 players. They were more or less picking the same heroes every time, so there's not really that much depth to it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's all about the depth.
Whereas I'd say Myth just has so much better balance overall.
Yeah, they're always hot fixing and patching the hero balance and things like that. So. And items and things like other stuff that
we had our last balance patch like 14 or 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, mostly these days it's just
I don't think
graphic.
they ever even did actually change the actual balance of it. I mean,
yeah, I can't think of anything, but I don't know. All I know, it's mostly just user interface and like graphical stuff, and then gameplay.
Yeah.
But nothing really in terms of like altering gameplay. It's just like fixing bugs and stuff. Anyway, anyway, yeah,
Anyway,
so
we're kind of done. We should probably wrap it up.
absolutely. So thanks again for joining me, guys, and hopefully you get a kick out of these films. And until next time, this is New Mutators signing off. So we'll see you in the next match, whenever that is.
Game over.
Good chat.
That was fun.
Good
Can
stuff.
I mute my mic now? I have so much background noise here.